One thing I don't do is drunken Facebooks or drunken Twitters. Bad idea. I haven't been drinking for a long time, but I see it now in these spaces really hard, and it's really hard to stomach. But there is one thing, and I tagged 4 people in this, my 2 Jonathans, Ian, and of course Benjamin, who know this very well, and a lot of friends and followers do too, but it's for the rest of the Canadians and First Peoples. Did you make the mistake of believing that this country is yours? Or even worse, are you making the mistake of believing that the resources in this country are yours? Either mistake doesn't hold water, and you have to go to your Constitutional Acts of Canada to learn that epic truth. That epic truth that, sorry folks, the resources in the country are largely out of your hands. To how much? Canadians and First Peoples, most of you for First Peoples, 0.335% of Canada is in your hands. In your hands, not even any resources. You're trapped under Section 92. Most First Peoples who have been through it, who know this truth to a T. As for Canadians, the whopping majority, since that first levy by the Crown of, free land for the settlers, treaties signed across Canada, come collect your free land or pay, and there was pay too, there was levels of it. My family paid, they were Americans, Ben's right about that. My great-grandfather was an American, came over on a boat to San Francisco, became American, and then as a young man ventured forward for the promise of these sections in Canada. And he took his settling piece. He bought and paid for it, bought another one, in fact. And Canadians think that somehow this is Canada. I'm sorry. You're on less than 9% of Canada. 91% of Canada is provincial and federal Crown land, not yours. None of the resources are yours either. When they say resources belong to the provinces, it's a division between federal and provincial Crown. If you read your Constitutional Acts of Canada, 1867, through all amendments, you'd know that that's still that way today. Not any of you. Now, Canadians, almost all of you, share about 5% of Canada, known as private property, restricted from most resources. And in that Canadian Crown definition of private property, you're on leasehold, not real freehold. That doesn't exist in Canada largely. There is a handful still to this day, but they're Crown. They're Crown. They're not you and the entire majority almost. Not any of you. You've got less than 5% of Canada. 4 more percent's available for rent or sublease from who? The Crown. The Crown that enjoys the rest. Absolutely. They're very rich from the Crown lands. You're lucky if you get a job. You're beholden to the Crown. This is what no Canadians or First Peoples, any kind of minority, even understand. But this is your legal entire description. Everything Donald J. Trump is forcing you to confront today. And every day after Tuesday, from here on forward, and he's just going to keep hammering you because you have to be the change. You have to pressure your politicians or get off your butts, join Canada, the 51st state, become part of the vehicle, at least do that much. Take the individual accountability and responsibility, no matter how many groups I jump into, no how many people I talk to, all across Canada, and I got my Twitter back up and running properly. I didn't have Grok AI. It's new to Twitter. It wasn't on my upload, so I was locked out. I could see and participate, but not join or anyone see me on the outside, but I was there. But yeah, so from going forward, I can participate. But I went into other rooms in Canada, and again, the same narratives by so many Canadians that it's everything not the Crown, not remotely close to the truth, not remotely close to the problem at hand. Crown, 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 a 5,000-year-old system of you being a slave, you promoting a superior human being as your God, your effectual gods over your life, so that you don't have to be responsible or accountable at all, and you live on what they provide you. And they've gotten used to a large wealth pool that Donald J. Trump says, it's game over. This system doesn't go forward with the United States anymore. The American people won't tolerate it anymore. Yes, Canadians have to be hurt because you need to be broken from that pain of two parents where you are the children. You're not in a divorce situation. You're the children, the underage minor children in mentality and understanding of what's happening in your country around you from the United States. The United States knows that. They know you're all children, and you have to learn that you're the children with two broken parents. Daddy's federal government, mommy's provincial government. Those are your two legal guardians who are in control of you. Daddy's an abusive drunk who come home and beat the hell out of you whenever he wants to. And mommy, sadly, is a drug addict, and she may not beat you up in the same manner as daddy. She emotionally abuses you and plays games. She lives a vicarious lifestyle, getting you compromised all over the place, hurting you, in fact, but you just are too young and immature to understand that. No one's showing you because you haven't been raised in a normal system like the United States, where mommy and daddy federal government, who has some problems, mommy's actually rock solid. That's the 50 states. And if you become one, you get a rock solid mom for the rest of your life. A mom that can't be compromised. And she's a strong woman. She can stand up to daddy any day of the week. Any day of the week. And in fact, she has a good, strong friend support system called the other 50 mothers of the neighborhood. And they can all get together and do damage on any daddy of the day, any day of the week, if they really want to. Do Americans need to learn that? Sure, but they're less problematic than Canada, with both guardians completely ineffectual and in the garbage can, that are terrible abusers to their children, which is us, sadly. That's the best way to describe it. It's what Canadians need to learn, and they're going to learn real quick in sanctions, which we've already started with our tariffs, and there's going to be a lot more. And then there's the stage of trade embargoes. Now, if your abusive Crown parents get really bad and they start hurting you excessively, according to American laws and American international laws, where they have a measuring stick, they always have, and you've seen it. You may not be able to recall it because, again, it doesn't look that bad to you. You even justify it because you're one of those kids who has two broken parents and you think that's normal, but it's not. It's not to a good portion of the world, not a majority, but a good portion knows, geez, they're in a real problematic, dangerous situation and their parents can fall off any time. They're really unstable. And if it gets too bad where the children are being abused too badly, yes, there are laws where things like the United States, our best friend next door, will step in militarily. We're far from that. And your Crown parents, as bad as they are, as abusive as they are, they know to hold back. Daddy sometimes pulls out the belt a little too hard in history, and that is genocidal, that is inhumane and all of those things. But it's never to the level where he's broken a child's bone or he's sent a child to the international hospital or international community, so to speak. Very close. It's been very, very close. But the kids wouldn't complain. The kids wouldn't tell on daddy when they had that chance. They certainly wouldn't tell on mommy. And that's unfortunate. But maybe this time you Canadians will report, will stand up to your parents, and will go with the American authorities who can do something about it. But it's going to take that push on your parents who, under pressure, will resort to their crown colonial institutionalization, their self-supremacy, their evil acts against the populace to keep you in line, to keep you going with the narrative, even though you don't want to. And it's going to be at that point where you choose, you take that personal accountability, that responsibility to say, no more, I won't let you. And it's as easy as starting with hanging an American flag, burning a British flag, swearing the American Oath of Allegiance, reading the American Oath of Allegiance, clearly reading that massive text. Don't have to memorize, have it printed. I put it in big for myself. So did a lot of those that follow me who did it. It's a purge of that evil. Recognizing you have abusive parents. It's not just a federal crown, it's a provincial crown. It's both mummy and daddy, and it's sadly all of you, the Canadians and First Peoples, in clear majority, are the naive children who've grown up with abusive, broken parents in a broken home, and you don't know any better, and you need to do something about it. These small things. Then it's joining the political party, because you can't rely on drunken, abusive daddy. Whether he comes home wearing a blue tie, a red tie, an orange tie, a light blue block tie, or a red, yellow communist tie, it won't matter which one, because they have a drinking problem. They're broken in the institution, and they will beat you up eventually. They can't help it. The system's designed that way. They have a problem that they don't want to address. And they can tell you they love you and lie to you, but you all know that when they get that drink into them called the Crown Juice, they're going to eventually beat you up again. They're going to abuse you again. They're going to go too far again. They always do. They always do. Regardless of what shirt they're wearing that day, they're all one and the same. And your provinces will go along with it. Oh, just ignore your daddy, because they want their part of the crown power too. They want that feed, that consolidated fund to fix their habits, their drug habits, because they're addicted. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote extensively about it. We are the country of Lord of the Rings. 13, ruled by the One. That is us. It's written about us. J.R.R. Tolkien despised it, wrote Hobbit and Lord of the Rings on all of that, which is Canada. You can all look that up and find that truth. And amazingly, we still go along in modern time with all the technology, all the AI. Well, the American government has it too, and they're not going along. Their mandate is not to go along. And they saw what the Democrats did and how far gone and influential that crown was on the Democrats and how much destruction it's done to America. And they're saying, no more. This is our time to put an absolute end to it. So Canadians, you have a simple choice. Canada, the 51st state, or be damned. And go the road of many dictatorships have gone in the past. Follow your crown like a good abused child in a broken family. Go support mommy or daddy, or believe in that, even though it's extremely abusive and broken home status. You will lose in the end. And America will be there if you need it to pick them up when you're ready. But if you don't, you will follow as victims, as statistics, like all the other evil countries of the past who are still in that world, third world status today. What do you expect America to do? They've given you the offer, the best offer a president can go in their limited mandate. The president gave you a gift. I will support this. I will sign this. My Congress will give you the Enabling Act. Convince your Prime Minister to do it. This is their chance. And if not, you've got to build the political vehicle to get it done. That's Canada, the 51st state. Sign up. Get involved. Get ready to be an MP. Take one of the Crown appointments you've never heard of in your entire civics life as a Canadian. Some you have. There's more than 2,000. 1,000 absolutely, but 2,000 in EDAs and all of it. 2,000 Canadians. That's all it takes is 4,000 out of 4 million. You think you could get it done. We need an accountant. I'm happy to report we may have that who can develop our website. There is somebody who specializes on that. I own the website. I would sure love that help. I'm the first to admit I'm not a designer, but I don't quit just because I don't have. Even in my limits, I keep going forward. 1 foot after the other, step after step. You have to. We all have to take our responsibility, our accountability. If not for you, for your children. If not for your country, for your family. It's not what your country is ever going to deliver for you, but what you can deliver for your country. That is more than a slogan. That is everything that is America. It's everything that's imparted on an American since day one. After War of Independence, it was cemented that forevermore the executive power of enforcement will be the responsibility of every single American. This is not the same for you, Canadian subjects, and you, the sub-subjects, First Peoples. You've had that removed forever and a day. I will get into much more professionally for a video like no other on Tuesday, the first day of living tariffs. I will do that for everybody. But Canadians need to go through this 24-hour period and then feel the effects of the 1201 tariffs. Almost immediate in a lot of industries. You're going to see it day after day, week after week, month after month, as everything scales down within the weeks. And Canada's responded in kind with tariffs. Trump will just expand them. He knows what America's going to do. He can count on Americans in individual accountability and responsibility and their sovereignty to see the transition easily. You know what Canadians don't have? Any of that, and are not going to be able to transition easily. Because why? Your Crown centralized system can't transition easily or at any speed at all. In fact, may not be able to transition at all. All they can do is administer more pain on all of you. This will not be the same for America. I'm sorry. And it's clear to me that you all need to see the difference between Canada and in the months to come. God bless everybody. That's my last video of the evening. Take care. Try to lay off the substances. I'm not Mr. Holier Than Thou, but I'm doing it, and I'm happy with that. I've never done a live that way anyway, and I won't. So, but I'm not on anything. I'm not drinking at all. I've shut that down for well over a month now. And that's just me. To each their own. I need more strength to do what I'm doing. I'm working on myself and my weight. I'm getting it back down. I'm improving my health as best I can. And it's working. And it gives me more strength to keep taking the steps forward. Stop pointing fingers. Stop waiting for somebody to save me. I've stopped that many, many years ago, and I hope many of you do too. This is my video. This is my pep talk. I'm going to post this in our group. I'm going to leave that up for a day or two so people can watch it. They come on to the 51st state, because nobody's going to save you, and you've got to save yourself. And that starts the political vehicle, but you need to take some steps personally to purge this evil. I'll give it to First Nations on tobacco and purge and smudge, the act of smudge and song. These things are important. And for Canadians, in the same respect, it's burning that British flag, it's hoisting an American flag, it's reading that oath of allegiance, and First Peoples too, and actually saying the words, knowing the words, seeing the words, having it come through you. Get that evil out of your system, because until you do, there is no hope for you but Venezuela and Cuba and many other terrible, terrible third world examples. God bless. That's my video. Praying for you all to do the right thing. Find that strength in yourself. Be strong for yourself at this time and your family. You can't rely on your crown. You've got to be that change against your crown. You've got to motivate them. And you will see. That's my video. God bless. Bye now. Prayers are all with all of you.